Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season in the 2019 mod with the 2020 car set, and we are here at a modded track, Kentucky Motor Speedway, which was not in the initial build of NR 2003. We are on the inside, several rows back, but up there on the outside. Row number 1 is the number 27, wreckingandracing.com podcast Toyota, driven by Brandon. If you are a NASCAR fan looking for a brand new podcast to listen to, head on over to wreckingandracing.com or search for Wrecking and Racing on your favorite podcast distributor. We are ready for 27 laps here at Kentucky. Green flag is out, and we are behind the 10 of Eric Almirola. To the outside, we can see Jimmy Johnson, the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and I believe that is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to our outside. Looks like the bottom got a really good shot. The Hendrick teammates of William Byron and Chase Elliott, followed by Joey Logano and the other Hendrick car, the 88 of Alex Bowman. We're going 3 wide into turn 3, and one thing that we noticed in practice is the AI is a little bit tentative going into turn 3. It almost resembles a Pocono, where they'll drive in really hard and then come to a complete stop, like their braking power is 100 times better than ours. So we have to be really careful going into turn 3, but holding our own as best we can. 3 wide behind with Stenhouse, Reddick, and Truex side by side. There's Matt Kenseth trying to get in the championship with a win. And making our way forward, there's Clint Boyer to the outside, and as we can see, the cars are starting to get single file in front of us. That will help us with our drive off, that's for sure. Cars that run side by side here slow each other down tremendously, so it is in our best interest to get in line, and we can indeed get in line in front of Clint Boyer and take the inside under the 12, but Blaney shuts the door and we'll have to roll out behind him. As far as pit strategy is concerned, we only have enough fuel to go 22 laps out of the 27, so once we cross the 5-lap mark, we are good. But as frickin' Ricky Stenhouse Jr. really driving it into turn 3 and getting under us, that'll put us on the high side. Now, we do carry a lot of speed on the high line. There's the Bushes, Kyle and Kurt to our inside, and we'll do what we can to hold this outer line, but it looks like there's a hole behind Jones if we do need it. We'll try to roll this outside, keep a fender on the 1, and get that pull down the straightaway off of Stenhouse. And I don't know if we can clear him. We're 3 wide just for the time being. Jones to the inside of Kurt, and we are 3 wide, really close as far as that number 1 is concerned. We'll drift out as wide as we can and carry as much speed as we can. Aggressive move to cut down, and it looks like Jones rolled out and then got back to the top. So we'll make up those 2 spots. Still a net loss once Stenhouse got to our inside, but we'll try to move forward. William Byron going for his second win in a row. William is fast in that Hertz Camaro for sure. Brandon up there in 3rd to the outside of Chase Elliott. But with these guys single file, I think we can track them down. We have a really good entry into turn 1 and 2 as long as we aren't being pressured from behind, and we're pretty free and clear. Looks like everyone is side by side back there and slowing each other up. So we'll take advantage, get to that white line, see if we can hook that apron as best we can. And you saw Eric Almirola have to get out of the throttle just a little bit. Now, if turn 3 was a little bit better for us, I would have went to the inside of Kyle Busch, but better to cut our losses and roll the bottom and not put anyone in a terrible position, as turn 3 is pretty vicious here at Kentucky. But we'll use that pull off of Kyle to get around YRB and see if we can get a good arc through the middle of turns 1 and 2 and get that run on Kyle. His Joe Gibbs teammate Denny Hamlin out in front of Kyle is our next, and there is a bit of a gap in front of Kyle, so if we can complete that pass, we can jump back in line and not lose a whole ton of speed. And then Harvick, Logano, Bowman, Brandon, Elliott, and Byron out in front of us. Brandon from the top to the bottom trying to make that work, and we are just sort of biding our time here until pit stops. I'm thinking we're going to cut this race in half. Lap 13 to 14 will come down pit road, but we are doing a decent job at saving fuel. We don't have to put in a whole can. We only need a half can, maybe even a splash. So that's going to affect how many tires we want to put on. All 4 tires are wearing pretty evenly. It's not really unbalanced one way or another. So if we do take 2 tires, we will be on moderately blistered left sides, and we don't want another tire issue like we saw in real-world Indianapolis, where we grind up that right front tire to shreds and then blow it. So right sides will definitely go on no matter how much fuel we need. Taking no tires coming to pit road, I don't think that is a winning strategy. But taking 4 tires and getting the sure thing may lose us too much time. I don't know what the AI are planning as far as their pit stops are concerned. So we'll just sort of play this by ear and do what we can. There goes Hamlin to the inside of Logano. That bodes well for us. Joey will be slowed up there on the high line. And if we can follow Denny through on the bottom, that will be even better. We get a good run. Let's get out to the outside and carry that speed. Maybe even give Logano a little push down the back straightaway. No, we can't get to his bumper. Kyle will try to fill that spot. And Joey didn't leave Denny a whole lot of room there on the bottom. But I think we'll get to Denny's outside here. And if Joey will go up the racetrack a bit to help us out, that would be ideal. But unfortunately, Joey sticks to the bottom lane, and we'll have to roll that wide arc and carry speed. We just need our fender right on his quarter panel and pinch him down a bit. There goes Denny rolling out of the gas, and we'll carry that speed down the straightaway. And let's just continue that momentum to the inside of Joey. We'll try for the slide Joe, and get in front. And yeah, Joey rolled out just a little bit, so we were able to complete that pass, no problem. Got a twofer on that lap and still making up time, all the while saving a little bit of fuel and trying to save these tires. Obviously, diving in and then sliding up the track to get in front of someone isn't conducive to tire wear, but we shouldn't have to do that too many times moving forward, especially with Hamlin and Logano side by side back there. There's really no pressure to pass Kevin just yet. We don't have to yeet into the corner. And we'll use that momentum from high to the low, do the crossover under Kevin, and get that good approach into turn 1. We'll have to roll out of the gas a little bit early here, get on the brakes a little bit early so we don't wash up. But Kevin doesn't get the power down, and we are free and clear to get that pull off the 88. Widen that corner as much as we can, carry as much speed down the straightaway as possible, and turn 3 is where they'll really slow up. We can see Bowman there checking up, and then he just gets back to the gas very aggressively. It's like they slam on the brakes, get to the speed they need, then punch the gas as hard as they can, and then they just take off. Which is not my driving style by any means. I'm more of a let the car set and roll a long time before getting into the throttle. I'm not the F1 approach of dive in hard on the brakes, then hard on the gas out. And Brandon's still having a time up there with William Byron and Chase Elliott. No one able to really break away in this lead pack, but we're surrounded by Hendrick Motorsports. So we'll do the best we can here. And we're nearing pit stops. The AI are a little bit funny on their pit road approach. Whoever made this particular racetrack on the pitting line, they decided to start their pit road entry from the wall. So when these guys pit, we're going to see them really start to slow down up by the wall, and then they're going to make a hard 90-degree left turn to get to pit road. It's almost like the track maker forgot that was their pit lap and just cut the wheel hard. So we'll have to look out for that the closer we get to pit stops. And it's interesting that Brandon hasn't really pulled away. Usually on these tracks, we're pulling away by now. The tire wear has settled in and the AI seem to struggle a bit. I don't know if they're taking care of their tires as much time as we're making up through here. But 3 wide, Chase Elliott to the bottom, going for his first win. Now he's sitting solidly in the top 16. He doesn't need a win by any stretch of the imagination, but 5 extra bonus points each round in the championship would go a long way, especially with that dreaded Roval. And Brandon almost roughs up William Byron a bit. He's right there on that corner. Perhaps even Byron decided to cut him off a bit. I can't imagine Brandon would be too awful happy with that. But we're within shouting distance of the leaders, and in fact, William Byron goes under Chase again. And side by side, Brandon decides to use this time to peel off down pit road. I believe we're going to come in next time and hopefully we're not run over by the 88. And we're definitely going to look for the 24 and the 9 to see their approach and see how they are pitting, if they are pitting, and what we need to do to get around. Good drive on the 9 here. We'll get that pull down the straightaway. I think we've really made up a lot of time here. And I'm thinking right sides and just a splash of fuel. Oh, in the chase just a bit, but that's fine. We're going to slow down and pit. It's 4,000 in second gear. Let's get it as pointed straight as possible and then hard on the brake, double downshift, and I think we are okay. We'll roll 3,500 in this segment just to make sure that we are not speeding, and then we'll get back up to 4,000, and there is our pit stall. Right side, tires and fuel. Let's go, boys. Right sides are on, waiting for that fuel to go in, tear off, down and away, and back up to 4,000 in second gear. So one thing that I am a little bit concerned about is we slid the left front tire just a little bit getting into our pit stall. And with 3X tire wear, those little lockups are amplified by obviously 3 times. So the left sides have taken a beating. We didn't change them. And if they took a little bit more of a beating from us sliding the tires, that's not good for us. So up to 4th gear, we'll try to blend, and we're going to watch these guys here and see right there, they're pitting. They're up way out of the groove and then cut down. And oh, Brandon had to make an evasive maneuver back there. We're going to have to take a look at that. But he was on the low lane, and all those cars just turned hard left, and he split the middle. It looks like he lost quite a bit of time, but we are out in front of Brandon by a few seconds, and we have to wait for this thing to cycle through. We should be passing these cars when we get back around here. It's not like a Pocono or a Daytona where you can come down pit road and then leave if you're in the pack. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cars on pit road to our left. Looks like service is being done for most. There's Kyle down there and Byron. And there was Chase as well. Now we came onto pit road right behind those guys, and we are going to exit pit road a good 5 or 6 seconds in front, so perhaps the AI were a little bit conservative and took 4 tires. So Brandon looks like he took 2. We took 2 as well. With this gap, we don't have to push too awful hard. I don't want to really abuse these tires, so kind of like Denny in Indianapolis, we're going to maintain what we've got and not really push, and then hope that we don't blow that left front tire. Looks like lap traffic is in sight. The 00 of Quinn Hauf coming quickly into view. So we managed to gain a ton of time on the lap cars, and wow, car did not want to bite or turn going into turn 3 at all right there. Brandon should catch us by a little bit. And with a scant few laps to go, we'll do what we can to maintain this gap. We're definitely catching the 0, and we want to catch the 0 in a good position. But Brandon has chopped into that lead quite a bit. He's getting a pull off the draft now down the straightaway. And going into turn 3, yeah, the car is just really sliding out going into turn 3. Kind of loose off, can't get the power down quite as well, and we're going to catch the 00 going into turn 1. So I'm going to look to the high lane. Maybe we can go around his outside. So we'll stick this second groove. Yeah, and we're not going to get to him by the end of the corner. He's going to drift up. Yeah, we'll have to do that crossover, and as you can see, we lost a ton of time on Brandon there in that exchange, getting set. And Brandon, oh, into the 00, 00 in the wall. Is that going to bring out a caution? No caution yet, and there the yellow flag flies. With just a few laps to go, I think this one is going to end under yellow, everyone, but we'll stay with it and see. So I will be back for you for the end of the yellow. So no green-white checker in this game, but the checkered flag has flied, and we are at victory number 9 here at Kentucky. Didn't think that was going to happen considering how we struggled through the middle of the race and how far ahead Brandon was catching us, but that will be win number 9 for us in first place. In second place will be Brandon. Third place will be William Byron. Fourth place, Chase Elliott. Fifth place, Bowman. Sixth place, Kyle Busch. Seventh place, Matt Kenseth. Eighth place, Kevin Harvick. Ninth place, Tyler Reddick. And coming in the top 10, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And one thing I wanted to see was Brandon's very close call on pit road, or the cars coming to pit road. Let's see. So he would have pitted, and then he was coming off pit road for a few laps, so that wasn't it. Let's go lap 19. Yeah, there we go. So this whole exchange was really tight quarters. There goes Brandon, sending it into the corner, almost into Truex, driving hard, and oof, nearly clipped the 8 of Tyler Reddick. How close was that? That had to be a fraction of an inch. Does this angle look at it better? Woo! That was close. Brandon had to take an evasive maneuver. Let's look at that from the cockpit and see exactly how close that looked from the driver's seat. Woo! It almost looked like Reddick was in the car. That was nuts. Yep, it was that close. Man, that was nuts indeed. So that got Brandon a second place with that evasive maneuver. It would have been interesting to see if he had anything for us coming down to the line, but win number 9 for us. So let's take a look at the standings after Kentucky. Austin Dillon is your cutoff driver. Kurt Busch 14 points behind, and those are the only 2 drivers within 1 race of each other. Truex clear by 50, Keselowski back by 41, and next week we go to the flat track at New Hampshire. So that will be fun indeed. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for New Hampshire. Take care.